Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Today I've got some big news from an official release time frame on Intel's next-gen Cascade Lake X. Intel is seriously lowering prices and they're talking smack about AMD. Oh, and it's super deceptive. Again. But first, check out today's sponsor, Drop, formerly known as Massdrop, a group buy website with amazing deals on PC hardware. It's free to sign up, and if you do it today, you'll get $20 off your first Drop-made items. So head to the link in the description below. Okay, it's news time, and first up for today, we got some important information from slides for Intel's upcoming conference at IFA in Berlin. And these are official because they come from Intel themselves. Either way, in the first slide, you can see that Cascade Lake X is coming next month, which is about what we expected from the recent rumors and leaks. But that's actually not the most important part. In the same slide, Intel claims Cascade Lake X offers double performance per dollar when compared to Skylake X. Now, I actually think this slide tells us a couple things. For one, we pretty well know that Cascade Lake X is set to be yet another iteration of Intel's 14nm process, which means we basically know there's no way they can beat AMD when it comes to multi-core performance, especially when they release their 3rd gen Threadripper lineup. And remember that Intel's Enthusiast line is mostly targeting multi-core processing with their top CPU going up to 18 cores. Basically, we have a pretty rare instance where Intel isn't claiming to be the fastest, but actually the most value-oriented chip. Talk about flipping things around. The second thing this tells us is that Intel is definitely lowering their prices by a pretty wide margin to claim leadership in value. I mean, we're talking double the value when compared to Skylake X, and with it still being 14nm, we're potentially talking something near half the price, which is a giant difference to say the least. And honestly, I think this just shows the absolute value of healthy competition. The only issue is that it shows they're just barely beating AMD's Threadripper 2950X in value, and recent leaks suggest AMD's upcoming 3rd gen replacement is something like 30% faster. So if AMD keeps their pricing similar to previous gen, 3rd gen Threadripper would completely change that difference. To top it off, with AMD's upcoming 3rd gen 16-core AM4 based processor, if you don't need a ton of PCI Express 3.0 or prefer faster 4.0, the much cheaper AM4 platform will be a far better deal. To make things even worse, Intel CPUs almost certainly cost the company more to make with their bigger CPU dies, causing much lower yield rates, so I doubt they could ever get as cheap as AMD can. Still, it's absolutely fantastic to see the company focusing more on value as they have a harder time keeping up with performance until they can release something on 10nm. Plus, there's still certainly some things Intel chips excel at. Unfortunately, the praise must stop there, because in today's next story, Intel is being incredibly deceitful. Again. This time it's in another slide from the same IFA show. Now, before I get to the specifics, one of the main themes Intel has really been sticking with lately is winning in real-world performance. So we're talking performance in actual games, actual Office applications, etc., etc. And that's not a bad route to take, if they weren't so deceptive about it. Plus, it's ultimately a jab at AMD's use of synthetic benchmarks like Cinebench, to which Intel has used in the past when their CPUs won, but that's not the point today. Obviously, companies will focus on their strengths, and that's completely fine. It's marketing. But my problem comes with this slide, which was first pointed out by Der Bauer. As you can see, it's referencing the Cinema 4D, which is a program AMD has used in their promotional material, I do believe. Well, in the slide, Intel is trying to downplay its usefulness by stating that only 0.22% of users actually use Cinema 4D. Here's the issue. When we go down to the fine print, you can see that Intel got those numbers from a survey of notebooks and 2-in-1s. Let me say that again, notebooks and 2-in-1s. What in the actual Intel? Who's using notebooks and 2-in-1s for professional 3D motion graphics? I mean, seriously, this is such crap and you know it. That's like saying not many gamers play Minecraft on their smartwatch, so no one plays Minecraft. Basically, this is simply yet another time that Intel is being highly deceptive to smudge the numbers in their favor. All I can say is,
stop it. Get some help.
So while that does it for today, what did you think of the news? Excited for Cascade Lake X, or are you just aggravated at these numbers? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. And as always, have a great day.